So now we're going to talk a little bit about where the Manufacturers Council is today. Can you tell us a little bit about MCIE, your purpose, and where you're going?
Well, to begin with, we did form as independent, incorporated as an independent organization in 2014. At that time, we were doing these big summits, which involved a lot of money. And our wonderful board of directors were signing personally for these big events. And so we felt we needed to get real as a business. And so we incorporated. And then in 2015, we became a 501c3. Once we got things organized, then we moved forward, continued with the summits and until COVID. And at that point, we started doing Zoom meetings. But we were talking a little bit earlier about flattery and imitation being the best form of flattery. And we had some other developments statewide.
Well, besides that, I will say that even in our local region, we had the Inland Empire Growth Opportunity, which was comprised of CEOs from many governmental organizations, schools, the University of California branch, the California State University, and the goal there was to find out how to raise the, call it the income of people to have a livable income. And what is that livable income? So they commissioned the Brookings Institution to develop a whole plan and strategy to come up with that information. In that final report, our group, our partnership between the public-private partnership was highlighted as the best example of a way to achieve that. The only problem was we were not impacting enough people. We were focused pretty much in the Fontana, Ontario area of the Inland Empire, but the Inland Empire is 27,000 square miles and has 4.6 million people. They said, this is great, but how do we do it across the whole Inland Empire? And how can we make this happen in other places? Our best example, at least to say that it turned out well, I believe, was in the high desert in Victorville. And we now have up there a high desert training center, basically trying to emulate the Intech Center in Fontana. And that is a start, but again, if you were to read that Brookings Institution report, the Inland Empire needs more of that. So now we have just recently, the Riverside Community College District has gathered $35 million to build a new training center in the Jurupa Valley. San Bernardino Community College District, I believe, has another $35 million. So we're seeing what is, I believe, state money pouring in, probably a mixture of state and federal money, to start building this in other locations. And we are asked to sit at the table. We're very much the model of how do we get manufacturers. They want manufacturers people to sit in those meetings and help the development of those new training centers.
Okay. And I want to add that we have a High Desert Manufacturers Council as well. And San Joaquin also has a Manufacturers Council and has done a similar summit as we've been doing in the past. One of the things that I think it's important to emphasize is that the purpose of the Manufacturers Council is to educate, and that's what our 501c3 is built around. Our hope is to tell the story of manufacturing to the public in general, to young students and their parents who may be planning a career. We want them to know that if they like doing things with their hands, they don't necessarily need to go to university. There are wonderful pathways through manufacturing to lifelong careers. We also educate manufacturers from the C-suite on down to supervisor levels. And that's because it's important that manufacturers make a profit in their plants, in their companies, which allows them to grow, which allows them to hire trained people, and that improves our economy throughout the region and the life that we live here.
I think we have, in addition, a lot of opportunities still coming forward. I think that the economy at this time has given a great deal of money to flow towards the Inland Empire through its educational institutions. And we're invited to participate in, for example, in Riverside, the Oasis Project will be a public-private partnership area. We are engaged there with researchers, and we hope to have a source for information to help our manufacturers thrive and not only survive, but to thrive as we go forward. That same effort is going to be used in the Lithium Valley development down in the Salton Sea area, and we're invited at all of these to participate. At the same time, I'm looking forward to the benefits that come back to our manufacturers in the way of opportunities to work with both researchers as well as students in data analytics, computer sciences, and other areas. So we've only just begun, I believe.
Well, so 20 years, you've seen a whole lot that has happened. And you can also tell that there's a lot more to come. I'd like to thank everybody for who've participated today to get together and be able to kind of review the history and a little bit about the purpose of MCIE, and of course a little bit about where we are and where we're going to be going. Thanks for joining us.